In my 35 years as a contractor, I've seen a lot of structural damage. If you don't catch the water at the downspout and keep it caught, you risk all kinds of damage to your home. You have the water coming off the roof from the gutters through the gutter downspout. Never let that water go. Keep it contained. When you install a cleanout or a vent or a leaf filter, make sure it's one that doesn't let the water go, where it gives it a chance to escape. Now, these cleanout assemblies settled. They're not adjustable. There's no adjustment for them, and they caused a lot of damage to the structure. Here's another way of trying to keep the leaves out of your underground buried downspout system. However, you can see from the splashing water, there's all kinds of moss, mildew, and mold growing up on the house, and they're settling at the foundation. We took a really hard look at every single cleanout on the market. We took a really hard look at every single leaf filter on the market. One of the things that we didn't care for, too many of them let the water go, and then you got to regather it. We did a mock-up of a gutter on a home with a downspout at 1 story. So this wouldn't be a 2-story test. The water would actually come down even faster from a 2nd story. But a single-story home, we wanted to test everything on the market. We wanted to see what the results were. Now, anytime you let the water go and then you have to regather it, you're going to lose some water. You're going to have spraying, splashing. You're going to end up with staining of the house. You're going to end up with mold, mildew, moss settling at the foundation. We know this. We see it week in, week out, doing what we do. We want to put every single one of these to a test. We want to fill the gutter trough with water and let it fall, gravity, 1 story. We want to mock a rainstorm. We want to see how everything's going to perform if there was a thunderstorm. Now, in my 35 years as a contractor, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. This is the worst leaf filter on the market. It's supposed to filter out the leaves so they don't go underground. It's supposed to hit that grate, and the leaves are supposed to just fall out on the ground, and the water's supposed to go through. And in the ad, they'll have a trickle of water coming down the downspout, and they'll show the trickle of water hitting the grate. This performs so bad. This is such a liability to the homeowners, and this is what's in Home Depot. It's cheap. It's made in China. The sun eventually weakens the corrugated portion of it, and it just splits. But this is the reality. This is my opinion, and based on what I can tell as a contractor. If you have a hard rain that's flowing any kind of water, it's not going to flow water. Not a decent rain. If it's a light misting rain and there's just a little bit of water trickling down the downspout, maybe it goes through. But I'm here to tell you, we ran all of these cleanouts and all of these leaf filters with the same amount of water. We would do a stage 1 and then a stage 2. And it doesn't matter how light the water is that's falling through the downspout. You're not catching it. There's such a liability whenever you try to do something like this. Letting water go and then hoping you're going to regather it. Now, here's another leaf filter. And when you remove this box, it would serve as a clean out. And I like some of the things that they've done. I'm going to tell you what I know about it. The customers that I have that have tried this say that when it's just a drip of water coming off the roof, because it's tin, you can hear this ping, ping, ping in the house, and it just drives you nuts. But let's put it to the test, because I like it. It's clean. Let's see what it does when you're actually under a true rain. When you're filling up the gutter trough with water and it's pouring down the downspout. Well, here's phase 1. And then we'll turn it up to phase 2. I think the results speak for themselves. But again, this is my opinion as a contractor of 35 years. And this is based on what I can tell. You're going to lose water during the big rain events. When you need these things to perform at their best is during a torrential rain. That's when people have flooding of basements, flooding of crawl spaces. A light misting rain, that's not the one you're worried about. You're worried about the one where you're trying to flow a lot of water through your gutter system. You need that downspout and the underground to perform really well during the big rain events. That's what we're testing all these cleanouts and leaf filters for. We're testing them all during a thunderstorm, during a decent rain. How do they perform? Do they fall short? Now, here's one that's for rainwater harvesting, and it has a screen to filter out mosquito larvae and really small, fine particles. Now, what I know about this is you have to clean this screen regularly. You have to be vigilant because it's such a fine screen. I've seen pollen and just like what I refer to as a biofilm collect on these in no time. If you're harvesting water to drink and you're going to be running all kinds of filters and you're going to be cleaning the screen all the time, that's probably where this is going to be at its best. That's where this is going to shine, and that's really what this was built for, in my opinion, as a contractor. Again, all these things that I see on the market and the way that they advertise them and solicit them. For rainwater harvesting, for somebody who is going to be patient with the process and you're going to be vigilant with cleaning the screen, this might be a good leaf filter for you. But that really tight screen, when it hits the really tight screen during the torrential rains, you're going to have water escape. You're going to have water at the foundation. You're going to have settling at the foundation. You might have some staining on the house. It does have a pretty good hood to prevent the water from splashing up and towards the back. But here's the reality of it during a really hard rain event. Again, we're filling a gutter trough, and we're letting it just fall 1 story gravity down a downspout so that we can see how everything performs. You can see the really tight knitted screen. You're going to have to clean that regularly. It gets plugged up pretty fast in the real world. So that was it working at its best. Now, we had to adjust each and every one of these. We took time to adjust them all to see where they would perform at their best. One thing that concerns me about anything where you let the water go and then you're trying to recatch it, if this moves, even after you get it set up just perfect, if you have settling, the ground settles, it's going to drop the underground downspout system. You're going to have it settle. You're going to have the pipe literally drop. This is going to shift and it's going to move. This was so sensitive. I mean, we've played with it and played with it to get it to where we would find a spot that it performed its best. And I thought to myself, wow, there's no margin for error here. All right, so what if somebody built a vented cleanout that didn't have a fine screen, but had a real coarse screen that you didn't have to clean?
Yeah,
and that screen had a patented removable section, so you could run a camera through it, or you could run heat cable through it, or you can run a garden hose through it. Something like this that had really good fluid dynamics that didn't let the water go.
Boy, that's beautiful. Nice and tight. No leaks.
Every once in a while, a product comes along and it changes an industry. You assemble a team made up of contractors, engineers, men, women, meeting of the minds, wisdom, knowledge, brought together to design, build something great, made in the USA. Everything is put on the table. There's a game plan. There's an end game. You combine that with the will to overachieve. You put a group of people together that love overkill. How far are we willing to take it? Is what we're trying to do even achievable? The world's first custom vented cleanout. It's a hybrid because it's also a leaf filter. The removable screen allows for easy access, allowing the homeowner the flexibility to just run a garden hose and flush the line at their well. The contractors knew what the industry needed. The engineers delivered. A collaboration between contractor and engineer. And here we have the world's first custom vented cleanout leaf filter for a roof runoff system. It contains all the water and it doesn't let any of the water escape. It collects all the leaves and it's guaranteed to not clog. The water can continue to run through this vented cleanout leaf filter without any problems. The design prevents clogging. The leaves collect up against the door. The water will continue to run down the back of the housing. The world's first vented cleanout leaf filter. Brought to you by French Drain Man.
Also, this will fit inside Schedule 40, Schedule 35, Schedule 30 PVC, and triple wall, which is septic field pipe. This will snap down in the corrugated. This fits inside anything 4-inch, and we have a reducer that will take it to 3-inch.
Welcome to the French Drain Man channel. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood. I want to talk to you about all the features of our vented cleanout leaf filter. And I want to explain why we made it and why we made it the way we did. We want to talk about the gutter adapter. The gutter adapter takes you from the gutter downspout that runs down your house, down the side of your house. It takes you from that to the pipe. The problem, and nobody wants to talk about this, if you look inside these, you will see there's an edge where the water bounces off. During torrential rains, it'll spray up in the air, and you'll wonder why you have this leak right at the foundation of your house. That's the last place you want water dumping, is right at the foundation of your house. So we have a very flawed product. Why is this product flawed? Well, they build it so that they can keep it tight to the house. You could see how it has shoulders. If you could put it on the center of the round portion, that would be ideal, but what happens? Now, your downspout is not tight to your house. It's kicked off of your house if you do something like that. So we wanted to build something that remedies this problem, that it doesn't leak at the house. It keeps the downspout tight to the wall, nice, clean look. So we came up with this gutter adapter, and we wanted it to be a clean out as well. It's a gutter adapter, it's a clean out, and it's a leaf filter all in one. Now notice how we keep it flat to the wall, and notice the shape for flow. No water is going to come squirting out the back of this. We worked really hard on this. We had 3 prototypes, and I'm here to tell you it wasn't easy to get the fluid dynamics to where it's at, but we have the water flowing. It's like a funnel shape, and we catch every single drop of water. None of it ends up splashing out up against the foundation of your home. Now, I want to show you something that's really popular, and they're selling this in all the big box stores. This is really, really a problem, and I'm trying to draw awareness to this. So for price point, people are buying this. See, so they think this is super easy. I'm just going to put this on for the $10 that it costs, and I'm going to be fine. All the leaves are going to hit this grate, and the water's going to fall through the grate. I'm here to tell you we've done a lot of video, and we'll show that to you right now. But the water will hit this grate, and it'll just splash off the grate. So the idea is it's supposed to filter out the leaves, and the leaves are supposed to fall out the front. Never do this. This is a terrible idea. When you're trying to catch water at the downspout, why would you risk letting it go right at the foundation of the home? Once you catch the water at the downspout, once you have it caught, you want something that has a door on it. You want to keep it caught. Now, we are vented up at the top. The reason why we vented this is if your pop-up emitter freezes in the wintertime, I want you to be able to get the water off your roof during a thaw. I don't want you to have that water build up in the gutter trough and now it's going to pull the gutters away from the fascia board. This is what gives gutters an unsightly look. So we vented it right here so you can get the water off the roof in the event that your underground is frozen and you're having a thaw. Now keep this in mind, if that happens, the ground is going to be frozen. So when it vents right here during a thaw, it'll run away from the home on the frozen ground. So we've thought of everything here. We wanted to be able to access the pipe. We wanted to be able to get inside the pipe with a camera or with a drain snake to clean it, whatever it may be. I always wished there was a product like this. My whole career, I wished there was a product like this, where I could run a camera and see where the clog is and what was clogging, and then run a snake through without disassembling the entire thing. Now, if you don't want to filter out leaves, you can remove the filter. The filter comes out. The top comes off, the filter comes out. There you go, if you don't want the filter, because a lot of people believe the filter is going to clog. Well, I'm going to tell you why that is. I'm going to explain why that is. A lot of the leaf filters on the market, besides being very complicated to put together, they were designed for rainwater harvesting, which is great if you're going to drink the water you're going to put in the work. Unfortunately, they have these very tight screens. These very tight screens plug with pollen, mosquito larvae. They got to be cleaned regularly. It's a lot of work. But if you're harvesting rainwater and it means enough to you, you'll put the work in. Most of our clients are not harvesting rainwater to drink. They just want to basically prevent their underground buried downspout system from clogging. So we want to come up with a way to filter out those leaves. But we don't want a tight mesh that's going to fill full of pollen and mosquito larvae, and then you're going to have issues, because once that's plugged, you're going to have water just running out right at the leaf filter. We went ahead and we built a very aggressive screen. The reason why we have such an aggressive screen, we want pollen, we want the mosquito larvae, even want the little tree buds. We want them to go right through, because that's not going to plug your line. We just want to catch the leaves. Now, unlike all the other leaf filters on the market, the leaves lay flat on these screens. When the leaves lay flat on these screens, they're done. They'll form a seal. You're not going to get water through it. We made sure that we built ours where we have our screen on a really, really steep angle. We have an incredibly steep angle. We're going to accomplish two things here. We're going to have a filter that's not going to plug. We're going to have a filter that allows the leaves to fall and get wedged and build up in the bottom of the housing while still letting water fall through the drain system. It's not going to clog. It's a clog-free design. We worked really hard on the engineering of this. We had several prototypes before we reached this point. We're really proud of this. Now the pipe, it just clicks on. No tools required. That was big. No tools required. That is it. It's that easy. If you buy it for 4-inch pipe, you can click corrugated pipe on it, or it'll fit down in PVC. I want to show you what the PVC looks like. Here's PVC. We got a ton of PVC guys out there. They love their PVC pipe. You're not going to talk them out of it. Look, we make a gutter adapter vented cleanout leaf filter that fits in PVC. It fits in corrugated pipe. Our vented cleanout leaf filter has UV protection. PVC does not. PVC pipe is made for inside the home and underground. It is not made to be out in direct sunlight. It has no UV protection. Our vented cleanout leaf filter has UV protection. If you're a PVC guy, that's fine, but keep your PVC low. You want to keep it buried, and then go ahead and use our vented cleanout leaf filter. This is going to be fair to your customer. This is treating your customer right. Our vented cleanout leaf filter comes in two sizes, a 2x3 or a 3x4. The way you can tell if your gutter downspout is a 2x3 is if you put a dollar bill up against the bottom of it and it covers it. You have a 2x3 downspout. If you take your dollar bill and you go to cover the end of your downspout and it fits inside it, you have a 3x4. Or, of course, you can just measure it. It's up to you. We sell it so that it snaps on a 3-inch corrugated pipe, or it goes inside Schedule 40, or it could be SDR 35. Either one, thin wall or thick wall PVC, they fit just fine. Here's 4-inch right here. You can see how nice that slips into the 4-inch PVC. Now, if you don't want the leaf filter part of it, because you think your customer's not going to use it, they're never going to clean it, it's going to end up clogged, and the water's going to vent right here at the vent, then take the leaf filter out. But because of the UV protection that this gives the PVC installers, I highly recommend that you go with this gutter adapter that's not made out of PVC. These PVC gutter adapters, they get brittle and they turn yellow. Not to mention the water sprays out during the really, really hard rains. We offer this in 2 colors, piano black and white. And this white is a special white that matches aluminum downspout white. We worked really hard on the colors so that we had 2 fantastic colors to choose from. If you have any questions on this product, any questions at all, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.